Hitler may have been the face of Nazi Germany, but who were the brilliant minds behind the early blitzkrieg victories and the stubborn German defense? We're talking about the legendary German generals of World War II. These guys were tactical masterminds who outmaneuvered and outfought their enemies on multiple occasions. Today, we're counting down the top 3 German generals of World War II. So buckle up, history buffs and war nerds, because we're about to delve into the minds of the men who led the German war machine. Get ready to learn about the leaders who shaped the course of World War II. Walter Model. Walter Model emerged as a fervent advocate of Nazi ideology, aligning himself with the party's principles as early as 1925. By 1938, his commitment and military prowess led to his elevation to the rank of Major General, entrusted with the command of the 4th Army Corps during the invasion of Poland in 1939. His strategic acumen came to the fore when he assumed leadership as the general of the 9th Army on the Eastern Front. Model's expertise was pivotal in shaping the plans for the Battle of Kursk, a crucial German counteroffensive against Soviet forces. Adolf Hitler, disillusioned with traditional aristocratic generals, turned to Model as his trusted troubleshooter, valuing his middle-class origins and unwavering allegiance to the Nazi cause. Consequently, Model earned the moniker of Hitler's fireman. In March 1944, in recognition of his exceptional service, Model was promoted to the esteemed rank of Field Marshal. Following this promotion, he assumed command as the Commander-in-Chief of the Western Front, succeeding Field Marshal Gunther von Kluge, who was relieved from duty under suspicion of involvement in the July plot against Hitler. However, despite his newfound responsibility, Model struggled to impede the Allied advance in France. In September 1944, he was tasked with the defense of the Netherlands as the commander of Army Group B. Here, he successfully thwarted the British airborne assault on Arnhem, known as Operation Market Garden, preventing the Allies from establishing a swift route to Germany. The Battle of the Bulge in late 1944 marked the climax of Model's military career. Entrusted with the command of the retreating Army Group B in the Ruhr region of Germany, Model faced insurmountable odds. Surrounded and with no viable recourse, he reluctantly ordered his 300,000-strong army to surrender. Faced with the prospect of capture, Model chose to take his own life, a tragic end to a career marked by unwavering loyalty to a reprehensible cause. Irwin Ronal. Irwin Ronal, hailed as a brilliant military strategist, rose to prominence during World War I, where his remarkable achievements earned him the prestigious Pour la Mérite medal. Transitioning into World War II, Rommel's career trajectory was nothing short of extraordinary. Initially tasked with guarding Adolf Hitler's headquarters, Rommel quickly established a close rapport with the Führer, gaining invaluable access and influence within the inner circles of power. In early 1940, he was entrusted with the command of the 7th Panzer Division, leading his troops to resounding victories during the swift and decisive invasion of France. However, it was in North Africa where Rommel's legend truly took flight. In February 1941, he assumed command of German forces dispatched to bolster the faltering Italian army in Libya. His strategic brilliance and bold leadership earned him the moniker the Desert Fox, and caught the attention of Hitler, who promptly promoted him to the esteemed rank of Field Marshal. However, Rommel's triumphs in North Africa were met with adversity when his forces suffered a significant setback in the Second Battle of El Alamein in October 1942, compelling them to retreat to the German bridgehead in Tunis. Subsequently, in March 1943, Hitler recalled Rommel to Germany, signaling the end of his illustrious tenure in North Africa. Given his expertise in mobile warfare, Rommel was entrusted with a critical task upon his return to Germany, fortifying the French coast of the English Channel against the imminent threat of Allied invasion in 1944. Demonstrating his ingenuity, Rommel initiated an extensive coastal defense project, employing innovative tactics and structures, including anti-tank barriers to deter enemy forces. Drawing from his experiences in North Africa, Rommel advocated for a proactive defense strategy, emphasizing the importance of preventing the establishment of enemy bridgeheads on the beaches. His visionary approach included plans for rapid deployment of reserves behind coastal defenses, poised for swift counterattacks to repel any incursions. Tragically, Rommel's illustrious career was marred by a fateful encounter on July 17, 1944, during the Allied invasion of Normandy, when British fighter bombers targeted his car. The ensuing attack left Rommel severely injured, resulting in severe head trauma and hospitalization. Compounding his misfortune, Rommel found himself entangled in the web of the July 20th plot to assassinate Hitler. Despite his esteemed status, Hitler offered Rommel a stark ultimatum: either face public disgrace and execution through a trial, or choose to end his own life. Faced with this dilemma, Rommel opted for the latter, sacrificing himself for the sake of his family's honor and his enduring reputation. Rommel's death, officially attributed to wounds sustained in the bombardment of his car, was met with solemn reverence, culminating in a full state funeral that honored his legacy as one of Germany's most revered military figures. As Rommel's military career flourished, he symbolized German resilience and ingenuity on the battlefield. His leadership style emphasized agility, adaptability, and the importance of understanding the terrain. Rommel's troops admired him for leading from the front lines, often sharing the same risks and hardships they faced. Beyond his tactical brilliance, Rommel was also known for his humane treatment of prisoners of war and his efforts to minimize civilian casualties whenever possible. Despite his allegiance to the Nazi regime, Rommel's reputation as a principled and honorable commander endured, leaving a complex legacy that continues to be debated by historians today. Erich von Manstein. Field Marshal Erich von Manstein stands out as one of the preeminent figures in German military history, renowned for his strategic brilliance and exceptional leadership throughout World War II. His legacy is indelibly marked by a series of triumphant campaigns across Poland, France, and Russia, solidifying his reputation as one of the most accomplished generals of the era. At the outset of World War II, von Manstein's strategic acumen came to the fore as he served as Chief of Staff for General Gerd von Rundstedt during the invasion of Poland in 1939. It was during this time that von Manstein conceived a bold and audacious plan to launch a concentrated armored thrust through the Ardennes forest, aiming to outflank and overwhelm the French defenses. Despite initial skepticism from the German High Command, Adolf Hitler recognized the plan's potential upon review and lent it his unequivocal support. Following the successful execution of his plan and the subsequent fall of France in June 1940, von Manstein's stature within the German military soared, culminating in his promotion to the rank of general. Tasked with leading the 56th Panzer Corps in the invasion of the Soviet Union in 1941, von Manstein's leadership nearly resulted in the capture of Leningrad, demonstrating his prowess on the battlefield. Subsequently appointed to command the 11th Army on the Southern Front in September 1941, von Manstein orchestrated a series of decisive victories, including the capture of an astounding 430,000 Soviet prisoners in a single battle. His adept handling of his forces also thwarted a fierce Soviet counteroffensive during the winter months. It ultimately led to the capture of Sevastopol in July 1942, meriting him the prestigious rank of Field Marshal. Von Manstein's strategic genius was further showcased in his efforts to relieve the besieged 6th Army at Stalingrad and in the successful recapture of Kharkov in February 1943, a notable triumph for the German forces. However, despite his string of successes, von Manstein fell out of favor with Hitler and was relieved of his command in March 1944. Von Manstein was known for his clever war strategies, but sometimes even the best plans didn't work out. Despite his efforts to help the German army, things didn't always go smoothly. Some people thought he was too critical of Hitler's ideas, which might be why Hitler stopped trusting him. After losing his command, von Manstein wasn't as active in the war anymore, but his legacy as a skilled military leader lives on in the history books. In the aftermath of the war, von Manstein faced trial for alleged war crimes. However, he was ultimately acquitted of the most serious charges. Nevertheless, his time in British custody took a toll on his health, prompting his release in 1953. In his later years, von Manstein lent his expertise to the newly formed West German government. He provided valuable counsel on establishing the Bundeswehr, Germany's modern armed forces, leaving an enduring mark on military strategy and organization. All right, folks, that's our top 3 German generals of World War II. But the story doesn't end there. Let us know in the comments below who you think deserves a spot on this list and who doesn't. If you like this video, click the next one on the screen. I'm sure you'll like it. Thanks for watching.